Yeah, that's right. Well, the problem is that there's two. I think the big thing that happens here is the drop off. One, you've got to be using a CRM. You've got to put them in there. You've got to establish your touches. You can even in most CRMs set what those touches are going to be and how often. Schedule them going forward. I think what happens though, and when you see that 8 to 10 touches at many MSPs, you talk to someone or you get a referral or from a list and they show mild interest. And then the second time they show mild interest, and then by the third month, you stop contacting them. When the fact is a lot of those deals are going to close in months 6 through 10 or 6 through 12. And it's a matter of staying on top of those touches. So, and I think Kevin probably some points to this on the perspective of when those touches occur, and some of them may be later that actually lead to a close.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when we started in our MSP, kind of like when we started doing a large scale nurturing and automation campaign, it was kind of like we just bought a list. I think the first buy we made was like 5,000 contacts. And from there, it kind of just turned into, like, I picture like the Roadrunner cartoon where there's like a runaway train and you're just laying track in front of it. It was kind of like that. Like we were just building automation as we go in order to just figure out, based on the data that we were getting back. And so it was, we were tracking really, like, we built a lead scoring system. We were trying to figure out where these people should go and what they should experience next. And then we started dumping more and more data into it. What we learned kind of through that process, though, is that, the more aggressive you are with your sales pitch and your messaging, it really dictates how long you can run that campaign. And so at first, when we were pretty aggressive with our messaging and we were basically like pushing, kind of what an MXP would expect to do. It's like free consultation, just trying to get in front of them to make a pitch. In those cases, we could only run those for a few months until we saw like a pretty large drop off. People were unsubscribing. We had a lot of people that were coming back and saying, "Stop emailing me." You know what I mean? The usual thing. And so that, I think what happens is people hit that point and they don't know where to go from there. And so they are paying attention to that small percent of feedback that they're getting, and not paying attention to all the other people that are kind of just quiet and have not yet responded. And so it kind of spooks them off the entire strategy. And so what we kind of did at that point was start putting more content mix into our emails. We started to take like a lesser aggressive approach, and we started to take, kind of the stance where like we want to have more longevity over these campaigns than we necessarily want to just immediately have a payoff in the first 3 weeks. And so that, I kind of picture it almost as, and if you're familiar with like American football, you're starting a drive, you're on the 20, you have 80 yards to go. A common play is to just try to throw an 80-yard pass, catch the defense off guard. But then when that doesn't work, then you have to play the small game and you have to work on like your short-term conversions. And so kind of that's what we started focusing on. It was more about, how do we get them from this step to now the next step. Maybe it's not a consultation. Maybe you just want to get them to engage somehow, maybe attend an event, things like that. And then you have these kind of milestones along the way. And then through that, now you can see who's engaged and who's not.